So, so apparently, Kalari went after FFG again today. I mean, girl, you were acting like somebody who just lost their boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever your, persuasion is. But you're acting fucking stupid. So you came after her, you came after Hakati because you probably saw on my channel that Hakati highlighted you on Saturday night. But instead, you gave her the impression that you watched the entire 8 hours. I don't think you did. I think you watched it on my channel, but okay. Anywho, let's see what you're up to today.
I know I do not have to make this video, and I probably shouldn't give this any more attention than I did, but as you know, this weekend was pretty eye-opening. There was a big old hit piece done on me that I still maintain. I was not in girl world for most of this. I will break down the Carl Sanctuary thing one more time for the dummies in the back so that I can get this done. Because there were a lot of lies that ran around.
The dummies in the back. You're speaking to your audience who is already distrustful of you, and you're off the bat insulting them. Well done, Kalari.
And I am going to thank Alex Glitter and that tragic guy that they call the Bodega for showing me how insane these people are. Like 8 hours? You spent 8 hours on me, Hecate. Why? I don't know you.
That's just how she does her streams. She goes on the weekends usually, and she does like 8-hour long streams. That is her thing. Like, it's not about you, Kalari. For fuck's sake.
When I tried to give you a chance and you came upside my head because I did not want to just diss on FFG, who I will get to in this as well, because I'm not going to waste time on this, y'all. This is a coordinated attack, both by people who I knew had no life and are salivating at a gotcha because, oh, she's just too nice to people on YouTube. She can't be like that. And then a person who I respected who really blindsided me with how they truly...
I can't even believe a goddamn word out of your mouth right now. You're too nice to people on YouTube. And then this person who I really respected, what are you even talking about? You're one of the biggest bullies I've seen in girl world.
Felt about me instead of coming correct and just saying how you felt about me. So I'm going to unpack all of that. And then after this, I'm going to leave this shit alone.
Right.
8 fucking hours, though, to say I had a Tesla, but I'm a broke bitch. That I live in a shack, but I have nice floors. That you warned me, but you didn't because we didn't talk on that level, you crazy drunk bitch, about how these people are.
I believe that was directed at Hakati, who likes to do tequila shots while she's doing her stream. But she has directed the same attack at me before because I have been occasionally disoriented when my pain cycle sends me in a bad place, And this is, I mean, you want us to have all this pity for you, for all the shit that you're dealing with, that you're using as excuses to be an asshole to everybody else. But you have absolutely no patience for disabled people and for people who only stream pretty much on the weekends.
So I'm going to tell you one thing that I've said from the beginning, because I've only been in girl world for 11 months altogether. I don't hall monitor where people go. I don't police who people can enjoy in here because I don't care on that level. And I will get to why I feel that way down the line with...
That's directed towards Frenchie. She thinks that Frenchie is mad at her for associating with people that Frenchie doesn't like. I don't know. I mean, I probably watch channels that Frenchie doesn't like. I've never been kicked out of her fucking stream, you know? But I also don't demand her attention, Kalari.
This video, but honestly speaking, this all stems from the fact that I enjoy both the YouTube Underground Yaba and Sam Tefler's chats.
Okay.
And it's ridiculous. We are too old for this. But these people, they can't stand it. They have a beef with them, so everybody has to have a beef with them. They don't like them, so everybody doesn't like them. And I'm not saying I see.
How do you have enough time in the day to do the bullshit that you're doing? You are watching much more than everybody else. And that is clear. And you're in the chats and you're trying to form parasocial relationships with everybody, including their audience. Like, what are you even talking about? You have no argument for saying anything about what we do outside of our time compared to what you're clearly doing documented online.
Stuff that were back and forth back in the day before I was here. I'm just real enough to say I don't give a fuck what people did before I met them. But some of you can't handle that. Some of you don't believe that because you're used to the fake ass fuckery. You're used to people just putting up with you, I guess, and wearing the mask and then waiting for something to say, see, I always thought that about her. You're waiting for psychos like that Hakate person who wants to do 8-hour live streams in the hopes that me and her will get into a back and forth beef, which she knows I have her blocked. And the only reason why I know you did an 8-hour fucking
is because you watched my channel. But you're not going to say that. Kalari, it doesn't matter how long you've been paying attention to the girl world. What matters is the history. That you somehow wiggled your way into your mama's radar by doing, I guess, a super chat and calling him out or whatnot. But it looks very staged at this point because you only have like 600 followers. But he has now done a live stream saying that you were the bait, that he knew all along that there was going to be a big payoff for having you circle these channels. For real? Have you watched that one? I bet you have.
Stream, you crazy bitch. It's because I was sitting in those streams last night. One, while I was making dinner, since I no longer will be sitting in the stream that I used to enjoy. And the other, because
it was Saturday night, so what are you talking about? You did this 12 hours ago, and you're saying you were sitting in her stream last night. I mean, she was streaming tonight, responding to your bullshit. But when she put it out, that was Saturday night, Kalari. So what kind of lies are you spewing now?
I go over to see more, and I went over to see more, and I laughed so hard. Because these motherfuckers out here saying that I have a Tesla, when anybody knows the reason why I locked my Twitter down 2 years ago and wasn't going to post on it again before I was asked to use it for campaigning purposes, that I can't stand.
Who the hell is asking you to use it for campaigning purposes, Kalari? You are not doing anything for the Democratic Party. You are not doing anything for the Harris campaign. So who the fuck do you think that you're doing troll activities on Twitter for, and that you needed to spark up your Twitter account. That's fucking ridiculous. I know people who actually put together digital campaigns, and it doesn't look a thing like the bullshit you do. In fact, they are constantly telling their audience, do not fight with people online. Try and, keep everything cool throughout the election season. And here you are. Okay.
Elon Musk. From his lies about trying to help the Flint community with the water crisis that they're still dealing with, not as heavily as before, but they're still going through it. To the lies.
Do you want to talk about that a little bit? Do you know the politics behind that? About the water crisis in Michigan? Do you know about the pollution, about how they need to repipe like pretty much the entire state, including, most importantly, Flint? Right? You don't like to get deep into the subjects. You just like to drop things at a high level because, like, you're not really paying attention. Right?
To South Korean people when those children were trapped in that underwater cave, and he was like, I can make a machine to do that, and he didn't do it. I wouldn't give fucking Elon Musk's company a fucking dime, which is why I'm not verified on Twitter, because I'm still calling that.
I'm not verified either. And I've advised my friends and family not to buy Teslas. I don't know if you have one or not, or if your partner has one or not. It doesn't really matter to me at this point, because all car manufacturers have a sordid history of getting involved in things that they shouldn't have been involved with.
Shit, Twitter. No fucking way. But I want you to unpack the fact that these idiots, along with their forum friends, literally are telling people that I drive a Tesla or own a Tesla. Are you trying to mix me with fucking Boogie? I used to be big, and I'm still fat, but I'm not Boogie big.
Picture this. You're sitting...
What does that have to do with being a Tesla owner? Are they more spacious or something? Like, what are you talking about?
But I'm not Boogie big. I get it. Because I've not been in girl world long enough. I don't have the archival knowledge. I had to use the archival knowledge to keep my ass away from Chantel's ass. And I know there are people that feel a certain way about the trajectory of my channel, especially when there have been people who have been here longer, who have been doing it way longer than I have, that didn't blow up as fast as I did. I didn't realize that it was going to be a kiss the ring situation, which makes me laugh. Because while you did give me a shout out...
Dude, this isn't a kiss the ring situation. This is a, you fucked up and nobody wants to touch you anymore. Period. You fucked up. And there was shit online that showed that you're a grifter and you've been ripping people off. So how are you gonna say that Frenchie is making you kiss the ring? Are you for real?
After the heifer and her clown literally put my name out there, I didn't ask that of you. I didn't want you to believe that I was in your channel for that, and I still don't like that shit. I personally don't want to advertise. I made a faux pas.
I literally was in the chat the night that it happened when you told Frenchie that you had been called out, and because she saw that, she started promoting your channel. Okay? I was in that chat the night that it happened. And you immediately started promoting your book. So give me a break.
and Smokey Stephen Marks that I felt was a faux pas, even though they told me that they didn't feel the same way, by talking about my book. I do not want people thinking I'm using their channel, even though you can't get away from people believing that because they're so used to that. And I was listening to you when I seen that crazy bitch who I had blocked.
Oh my God. This is like being with a crazy boyfriend you're trying to break up with, who is just all over the place with their excuses. Oh my God, Kalari, shut your fucking trap and just take it. Oh my God.
Who does 8-hour lives about me, trying to get at you, using me, and I shut that shit down because I thought you were a real one. The whole reason I got into even talking about the heifer was because of that stream that I sat in on your channel before anybody even knew I had a channel, and she said that your mother's passing was your karma. That activated fight mode. So if you want me to give you credit for my channel, that's fine, because it was your archives.
Okay, so your timeline's not really adding up at this point. You said you just entered Girl World 11 months ago. Frenchie's mom passed away much longer ago than that. And when you say that you were following Zachary Michael for the Amber Lynn stuff and other things, that predates this 11 months that you're talking about.
That kept me away from Chantel. It was your group that made me laugh each evening and on weekends sometimes. You were the only ones that I felt that comfortable with for a while.
You made me so happy, Frenchie. You gotta take me back, girl. But let me abuse you a little bit first, okay? Shall we?
That's why what you said in that comment that was sent to me, that you couldn't even reach out and say, hey, I think you're a fraud. I think you would do this to animals, which I didn't, is enough for me to sever ties with you. You couldn't even come correct to me.
What happened to the animals, Kalari? What were the animals' names? What did the barn look like where the horse was actually stored, like stayed at night? Like, this is an unbelievable story again.
And that's how it just shattered the illusion I had that even though you had that past with people and your beefs with people, that you really did change in the last year or so because you got tired of
see, here she goes coming after Frenchie and saying, well, I was warned against you, but it looks like you changed. All right, Frenchie. Looks like you've changed for the better, and so now you were acceptable for me to watch. All right.
people trying to drag you into bullshit. And if people think this is going to cause a beef between you and I hate to disappoint you, it's not. I now know how you feel about me, and now I know to stay the fuck away. That is it. Some of yous get jollies after creators fighting back and forth. My channel is always going to be about the things I'm interested in.
Yeah, but you're the one talking about it. Frenchie has just gone on with her life and covered Chantel World content, period. And you're talking about this on a near daily basis, Kalari.
I'm not interested in back and forth beefs with anybody. And when I say what I seen, what you put out there about me fucking hurt, it did. I'm honest enough to say that. But I'm also honest enough to say, you know what? Now that I know, I can close that door and move on. I do not want to divide people into factions. I understand because it's Girl World. I am going to still see people who are part of the group that I used to feel comfortable in. I don't hold that against y'all. I don't care. But when I get the feeling that you really believe
It seems like you care quite a bit because you won't shut up about it. You won't shut up and move on with your life and talk about girl world content or gaming content or whatever the hell it is that you want to cover on your channel. But the fact that you were constantly talking about infighting and throwing shade at Frenchie this way, it's gross, girl. It's gross.
That I was going to use your channel when you know I've never shown you that. Ever. That's fucked up.
Right.
And trust me, I had people warning me about you. I didn't care. I don't like when people try to tell me who I like and who I can kick it with on YouTube. And I will continue to say that. Because all of this shit stemmed from who I like and who I kick it with on YouTube.
I had people warning me about you, Frenchie. Kalari, stop talking about it. If you are this deep in you, where you're throwing out so many insults at her, you're done. So stop talking about it.
Too. I don't give a fuck if you motherfuckers hate each other with a passion. It has nothing to do with me. And while Hecate, since you love me saying your name, and since I know I'll probably get another fucking 10 or 8 hour stream out of this shit, wanted to try to give me advice about...
Say my name, say my name. Hecate did do a live stream. She's probably still going. I couldn't go for the whole thing. But I watched part of it, and it was mostly covering this video in the beginning. I don't know if she moved on to other subjects, because she does like to cover other topics like Just Reason and other people. So I don't know where she is in the middle of her stream right now, because I don't have the kind of energy that Hecate has. I can't stay up all night. But I guess Kalari can.
Out saying stuff first. Let's get it right. I called out their actions. These people used a 4-year-old's story that shouldn't have been put on the internet in the first place as a gotcha to try to take down channels, because that's all they have. They got their channels yeeted from their own actions, and they're bitter bitches.
Come on, Kalari, you had something like a dozen GoFundMes. And some of them were very mean-spirited.
And all they want to do is destroy Girl World. Oh, I hate Girl World. Nobody's forcing you to watch Girl World. You hate that people made Girl World successful for themselves. Get it right.
All right.
And you bitter bitches sit there talking shit about people and channels that barely anybody watches, and now you think that you're going to collectively go together and zap people's channels. Good luck with that. Because people are tired of the factions. People are tired of having to be judged because they want to sit and...
People don't need to watch you. They can watch Jordy. They can watch Doe-Eyed Kooky. They can watch Unicorn Pondu. They can watch Gorlick Bread. They can watch Frenchie. They can watch Yaba, the YouTube Underground. Sam, I don't think really covers Girl World, other than the weird battles that they have with smaller channels. I don't know what that's all about. They can watch Are You Serious? There are so many channels out there that cover Girl World, and your reaction content is shit. That's why your views have been going down, Kalari.
People's channels, whether they find them interesting or just being nosy. All of you fucking pocket watchers and hall monitors are sickening. But let's show you, because once again,
I don't know what
I
that
shouldn't
even
have to
means.
answer to this. It was way before I...
What are you talking about? Pocket watchers and hall monitors. What are you even talking about? You're allowed to watch whatever you want. You're allowed to chat wherever you want. But you have to behave because you might get moderated if you're an asshole in their chat, right? And you can do your own content. But what are you talking about? Like, nobody's fucking like a hall monitor. I don't know what you're talking about. God damn, girl.
was even in girl world, I didn't know any of you fuckers, and I still don't want to know you fuckers.
Cool.
You have the called Animal Home and Sanctuary. The last donation was 2 years ago. I need to remind you, I wasn't in girl world till 11 months ago. When Greg's grandfather bought this place, he had big plans and he did big things out of his own pocket and he got over his head. When his parents tried to take over once he started getting sick, they realized they couldn't handle it anymore. So the horse that was here...
Okay. So this was all Greg's family. It was his grandfather. It was his parents that came in to actually handle the situation. And you set up a GoFundMe that would go into your pocket, right? That you would raise money. And did you give any of that money to that family?
Got put on another person's place. I don't know. I wasn't there for it. The cats and other things, they were rehomed. I don't know where. Wasn't my business. The only thing I'm guilty of is using my platform to try to help them out.
If it wasn't your business, why were you sticking your nose in it? Why were you doing this? It wasn't your business. It was a personal family matter, and you're like, let me set up a GoFundMe for $50,000.
And if I got to be slandered for it, I'll take it because I do not regret helping out family because these people are my family now. It doesn't matter what you think of me.
Did you help them out? Did you actually give them that whatever money you got from that fundraiser? Did you actually turn it over to them, Kalari? Can you show us some goddamn receipts?
It is sick the way you try to twist things. You tried to say I took advantage of an old man that I didn't even know, that wouldn't even know me in the state he was in by the time I got up here? Okay, believe.
Yeah. You didn't know him. He wouldn't have known you. But you were setting up a GoFundMe in his name, Kalari. That's fucking weird.
That. I can't convince people who are already waiting for something bad to believe about me that I didn't do that. But I'm telling you, the people that are pushing it the most, they probably have those kind of skeletons in their closet while I'm an open book. I tried to help.
Oh, yes. We all gotta be as bad as you. Right? You can dig on me, girl, if you want, but you're not gonna find anything. I think the last traffic ticket I had a parking ticket, and I had, and in like, I think it was 2021, I had a parking ticket, and I had, what is it called, a fix-it ticket in 2022. Prior to that, the last time I actually had a, like speeding or anything like that was the early 90s, I think. It was a long ass time ago, okay?
People that I cared about because I was dating their son at the time. I am now his wife, and I would help them again if I needed to. That is just how it is. Moving on from an NPD parent, which anybody knows in 2019, I was going through it. My mom was living with me in a rental place in Saginaw. See, they like to sprinkle nuggets of actual facts about my life with their lies to convince you. I never hid that I lived in Saginaw.
Yeah, but you said it was your trailer, didn't you? In one of your other live streams? I'm fairly certain you said it was your trailer. Now you're saying it was a rental. Interesting.
With my mom, I had a relative, her sister, say the only way I am going to take her out of your house and move her into my place back down south is for me to have cash in hand. So I asked for help, and I got that cash in hand, put it in my auntie's hands, and got rid of.
I don't believe that for a fucking second. I don't believe that her sister, your auntie, would demand payment to take her to live with her. That doesn't make any sense, Kalari, at all.
Somebody who, for most of my life, made me feel both insecure, hated, while putting on a mask for people and pretending like, oh, I love being a mom. I'm not trying to put all my family's bad business out there, but that came from a large, stoic.
You are absolutely demonizing your mom. It's really gross.
Family. And there was hard navigation on truth. That's why I was grateful for my grandmother, because she taught me early on that lies take too much fucking energy. Just come correct even if people don't like you for it. Whereas my mom was not like that. She was my first bully, and I put up with a lot with her. And 2019 was my fucking breaking point, because I was tired. And I was seeing where she was moving on to my son as her next target and victim for her stuff. And I couldn't do it anymore. What she did to me and my sisters was enough. It is why I started those unhealthy patterns with food and cope eating and impulsivities and fighting. Because I would...
Yeah, it's all mom's fault, right? It's all mom's fault. All of your unhealthy behaviors is because of mom. Clearly, that's the problem. Okay, Kalari.
It was my escape. This is a reality for me. This is why it's easy for me to call out Chantel's fuck shit the way I do. Mm-hmm. Point blank. When you've lived that life, even though I had the buffer and balance of...
Okay, so you were living with your mom 2 years ago, right? You were currently 47. That would have made you 45. Why were you still living with mom at 45? Why were you doing that?
My grandparents, you do develop ways to survive. And then throw in what happened to me as a teenager. Yeah, I leaned into food and I ballooned. And it wasn't even at my worst point, because that happened after I moved to Florida. I was with a relative. I was supposed to be going to college. That didn't pan out at the time. That came further along the line. But I was, what I thought, rescued from that situation by a partner who was way older than me. And I had the delusions that he would save me from the situation.
I don't know what sort of DV happened in your past, but we are decades away from that now, Kalari. If you haven't gone through enough therapy at this point to actually be able to handle that in your life without constantly referring back to it, then you probably should not be online.
And I was in, and he didn't. The only good that came out of that was my son, was the partner, husband, for those that get in their feels about me calling him my partner, because I was able to be myself with him. He knows everything I went through back then, and it's still not easy to talk about. That's the reason why I get mad at Chantel, trying to pretend that she was any kind of victim when she was just as emotionally and all kinds of manipulative and dangerous in that relationship with the Canadian crack demon.
3 reasons why my girlfriend is
in that relationship with the Canadian crack demon.
You know, honestly, Kalari, if you have this much fucked up shit in your background, you have absolutely no business commenting on whatever fucked up relationships she's had. Really. I mean, look what you've done with your life. And you're like, look at my property, it's so great. Oh, by the way, it's not really my property. Just kidding.
What I said was true. When I first heard that Sam's Bar Lounge video, which made me flinch and made me cringe because it just brought back visceral memories of shit, I thought, if that was Chantel, why are people picking on her? And it was Frenchie's archive. It was her being shown to mock somebody who went through DV. Even after that person reached out to you tenderly to try to steer you away from something that could be bad, and you mock that. That made me feel that, no, I can't believe your story, Chantal. Because even if I don't care for a person, I don't use stuff like that against them. That is disgusting. That is a low that shows your psychopathy.
Yeah, you're giving us every excuse in the book for why you've been an asshole online. Right? I have DV in my past. I have all these mental health issues. I had this terrible mom that I lived with until I was 45. What are you talking about? You've got every excuse in the book, Kalari.
Psychopathy versus my sociopathy. My shit is diagnosed, because that was another lie that was running around. But I need to get to the fact that these people think I'm wealthy, which I'm not. But I'm broke. Think I'm this, which they don't know me, but they can pick apart things that I've actually put on the internet, don't delete, and stand by because...
Oh, I got 5 acres of land. Look at me flex. This is what my property looks like. Right? But it's not really your property, and you weren't honest about that.
At the time, I felt I was doing the right thing, and I needed to get out of stuff. That asking for your help, that was 8 years ago. Let me see if I remember what that was about, because it wasn't weight surgery or any surgery that people were bringing up. I believe it was for a trip. And when I realized that it was a faux pas, and it was brought to me that it was a faux pas, a friend of mine from Australia gave me the amount as a loan to get me on that trip, and then I paid her back. That same friend came to visit me in North Carolina.
Why don't you just pick up the phone and talk to your friends rather than putting out these public GoFundMes? This is really fucking weird. I can't even imagine it. Like, if I was that desperate for money, I'd be picking up the phone. I wouldn't be putting it all online like that. God damn, girl.
When she visited the States. So it's funny, the way these people who don't got it like that, and whether you think I'm bragging about it or not, I don't care at this point, are mad at me and think...
Don't got it like what? You just said you're poor and you have to beg for money. Got it like what? I own my fucking condo. What are you talking about? I own my vehicle. What are you talking about? Those people who don't got it. What are you talking about? You think we're jealous of you and your existence? You are entirely reliant on Greg's family. From what you're telling us in these live streams. And you shit the fuck all over your mom.
Because I associate with the YouTube Underground and with Samantha, that I would be an easy target when I know I've never put on there that I was a good person. Ever. One of the things that I wanted to bring up in this video, along with explaining sociopathy, which I'll get to, is
I'm not a good person. Just remember she said that, you guys. She is not a good person.
had a rough past. And it wasn't all my doing, but I got into trouble. I'm glad I'm a Gen X kid. A lot of the shit that I did, I got away with it because there were no cameras. There were no TikToks. There were no YouTubes back then. So I don't judge people on shit they did before I know them. I'd rather let people show me who they are before I make judgment. And a lot of you are mad that I got to see who you are from video clips, from the way you keep making these lawsuits and these back and forth beefs. And I figured I'm not going to kick it with you. I'm just going to put you in the block bin. And especially those of you who ran with that awful story as a gotcha. But you think you can...
Kalari, you brought this upon yourself. You can't blame the community for reacting to what was revealed by Kiwi Farms and Olap. You can't. You really fucking screwed up. And people are reacting to it, and I'm Gen X as well. I'm probably a little bit more Gen X than you are. You're almost to the millennial age. And I don't recall doing anything in my past other than ditching, high school. I don't recall doing anything in my past that would make the morning news. And that's what they told us back in the day. You don't want to do anything that would make the morning news. Right?
Judge me because I can ask for help from a following that had nothing to do with Girl World and get it? Okay? But your bitter jealousy is showing at that point. But let's get two things straight. There was no animals exploited. And the only two animals left over from what...
I am definitely not jealous that I have not set up any GoFundMes to scam people. Definitely not jealous, Kalari.
Was done on here is Maximus Kitty, who we still take care of, along with my cat Callie. We don't have horses on here no more, even though we still have the barn. We're thinking about knocking it down, but...
Look at how she went from one horse to multiple horses. Now it's plural. And giving up all of the animals, but she doesn't know what happened to them, to we kept two of them, right?
Cats like it, especially during the winter, so I think we should leave it up. I don't understand why people want to twist things, but I have never in my life...
Take it down. What are you doing? You've been called out. Take it down.
Use the elder. I take deep offense to anybody trying to push that narrative, but what can I say to people who already want to be convinced of my bad character? It's a lie. And that is all I'm going to say about that.
You've already proven that you have bad character for many months now with your behavior in these chats and trying to work their subscriber bases and create a following for yourself. You have already shown your bad character for many months.
But I thought it was funny last night watching a portion, because nobody's going to sit through a fucking 8-hour stream, you weirdo, of you saying that because I started with these people for calling out what they did, that they deserve...
So she's saying she watched it on Monday night, a live stream that happened on Saturday night. So no, you didn't tap into her live stream. You watched it from my channel, Kalari, because I had it clipped.
I have a right to pick into my life and make up shit about me. And that's what the fuck is wrong with you. Because you would run with a lie based on your feels because somebody said something about you than to come correct. And that's why I don't fuck with you or anybody you associate with openly like that. Because you're willing to use lies to try to destroy channels because you can't hold stuff on your own personality. There, I said that. And you're...
Well, I don't know what you're talking about because Hannibal and all of your buddies have been in Hekate's live streams. In the moment, commenting and getting some engagement back and forth while it's happening. So I don't know how you're saying I stay away from people like that. Obviously you don't, right?
Jealous of other channels who have created communities where we have fun. That's the thing that I don't think people understand about me. I don't know most of these channel creators on a personal level, but I know I can sit in their channels and laugh and be a little Miss Jenkins and chuck it up and talk to people who are regulars in their chat. That's all this was supposed to be. But some of you bitches take things so personally because somebody don't like somebody or somebody don't like this or they had bad blood, so I have to make myself a part of it. And it's like, you know what? No. I can call out actions without it being more personal than that.
Uh-huh. Okay.
But you know, I'm glad for this weekend because it taught me a lot of things. It taught me that I'm still going to come correct, but I am surrounded by a lot of people who like to smile and think.
Well, you've been looking pretty haggard all weekend, so it looks like it's affecting you.
One thing, who can't say, hey, we just don't want you around because they're afraid that it'll look bad on them. Let me tell you this much. If you had even emailed me and said, you know what, I really don't care for you to be in my channel, I would have went away quietly. People would have asked and were like, you know what, I'm just too busy for it. But you couldn't even give me that courtesy. You had to put in a comment section that you believed that I would do that. And that is what's fucked.
Because you did. You tried to raise $50,000 for animals that did not belong to you for a grandparent you had never met. That is what you did, Kalari. And there are no pictures of these animals. So we don't know if they even ever existed. Period.
Up about you. Because you're not a real one to me anymore. And I can close that door. And even if it loses me subs because you want to hall monitor.
She literally started out this stream kind of begging Frenchie to get back in. And now she's like, I'm going to close the door. All right. Okay.
Who talks to who? I can't be like that. I don't want anybody who feels a certain way about me, whether they like me or not, to ever treat you like that. Because I do know that I have fun in your channel. I do know that I enjoyed just talking shit about Chantel with all of you. But I would never be able to sit in there again knowing that you all believe that about me. And that's a little victory for the Griff Gang now. You have taken something that I enjoy during the evenings most times away. But it's okay because it frees up time to do other stuff. But when I say to you that I don't have animosity towards you, I am not going to turn my channel into Let's Attack Frenchie. I don't care on that level. I would...
You already have. And I'm going to peace out right here, you guys. If you want to watch the rest of her fucking whiny bullshit, you can go to her channel. I'm out.